Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and part 4 of the TradingView series. In today's episode, I'm going to get into how we actually place a trade using our strategy here at WB Trading on the TradingView platform. And if you are a beginner and you've not seen part 1, 2, 3, I definitely suggest watching those first, especially if you're not used to the TradingView platform, and I'll leave a link to those videos in the description. So without further ado, let me just talk you through how we use TradingView to actually place a trade. So the first step for me would be to add my indicator, which is the average true range, and we can just do that by adding that from the indicators tab at the top. And what the average true range is, it's basically a technical analysis volatility indicator and essentially gives us the degree of price volatility. So once we have that, the next step I usually take is marking out my overnight high and my overnight low. And the easiest way I've found to do this is either using a trend line to mark out your high and your low, or if you come to the right hand side of the chart, you can click on this plus button, and this will make sure you're always drawing these straight lines. And for me, this is just easier for me to mark out my high and low. Once we have done that, the next thing I want to do is kind of be looking for where my ATR level is. And I remember it was around 0.92. So if we start at the low, even higher than this, so we just make our graph a bit bigger like so. And we mark out our overnight range. So there would be the high. Just make it a different color. And the low by going from the high. Something like this. So now we know exactly roughly where price is going to be heading and where we can look for take profit levels. And as you can see, there is plenty of room here. So this would be classed as a trade day. So now what we're doing is waiting for one of these candles to either cross or close above the high or beneath the low. So I'll just play this on the replay mode. And as you can see here, we do get a cross at 7:05. I thought it'd be more helpful me doing this on the replay mode just so you can watch as if it's a live trade and kind of the steps we take in order to place the trade. So the next thing I tend to do is draw out a long position. As you can see, body's closed above the high. We're going to take our trade mark out, find an appropriate stop loss. For me, this first region would probably be slightly too small of a range for my stop loss. I'd rather go somewhere a bit lower down, such as down here. And then I'll be marking out my target. So I tend to go for around 1.5. You can go for 1.2. Kind of as long as you're keeping it within this ATR reading, you should be okay. So we have our stop loss in place. We have our take profit. The next steps, I usually just set an alert. So I don't always want to be looking at the chart. It might not even let me put an alert, but the same way we basically drew out the overnight range, it might be because I'm in replay mode at the moment, but you can click this button and set an alert. I tend to do the set and forget method, so once I'm in, I'll set my alerts and I won't look at the chart. I've just found this really helps me with my psychology. So if we click play now, we can actually watch the trade play out and what would have happened during this session. So we did have a bit of a sell-off. As you can see, I mean, we could have got away with using the smaller stop loss in this situation. However, like I said, I do like to give myself a little bit more wiggle room. So the trade's just playing out now. I can just speed it up a little bit. In fact, as you can see here, look, if we use one of these stop loss, we might have just survived. However, yeah, we did retest multiple times. I remember in the Discord, a lot of us were getting a little scared about that, and then the trade ended up taking off and going towards take profit, which was a lovely example of how we place a trade. So I'm just going to show you another example. We'll fast forward to the following day and then we'll pick it up again. So for the following day, we can just remove our ATR readings or kind of overnight high low. If you want to keep your trade markouts to see kind of at the end of the week and calculate how much R you've made, that's also fine. So I'm just going to talk you through the exact same principle here. So our low for the overnight range would have been down here. So we're just, again, marking out this on the chart like so. And our high would have been just before 12 o'clock, just like so. Again, I'm just going to make these red so I can differentiate between that and the ATR. And then the ATR, from what I remember, was about 0.91, so pretty similar to the session before. So I'm just going to mark that out once more. It doesn't have to be bang on accurate from what I found, as long as you're relatively close, because sometimes it can be quite of a pain making sure it's bang on every single time. And I can see here that I've got plenty of room regardless of if we're a couple points off the ATR in this situation. So we'll just make these colors green again. And as you can see here, again, we've got plenty of room here to look and get into a trade. If your overnight range is something like this, where you've got massive movement overnight and the candles are all over the place and your ATR is extremely close, and we'll class this as a no trade day. However, I can see from experience that we've got plenty room, and if you are a member, and you've done this multiple times, it does become a lot easier for you. So right now, we're just going to play this out and see and wait to see where we get across to the high or to the low. And as you can see, here at 5 to 8, we did get across. So perfect. What are we going to do now? We're going to do the exact same thing, mark out our trade, stop loss here, perfect room for me. And again, I'm going to mark out a 1.5 our target. And then, yeah, we're going to let the trade play out. So yeah, this strategy is quite a simple one. It does take a little bit of practice getting used to, because, marking out your stop loss, where a suitable take profit would be, and kind of sticking to the rules every morning is what can be quite difficult for some people. And I think this candle came in during NFP on Friday. So yeah, we did manage to get a big push to the upside, and we did hit another take profit trade there. So they're the simple steps I take in order to place a trade using this strategy on the TradingView platform. And hopefully this has helped some of you kind of get started, and kind of if you have any questions about maybe the strategy or the steps I took in order to place a trade, then feel free to let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. But other than that, guys, thanks a lot for watching the video. Like I said, if you haven't seen the other episodes in the series, then definitely go ahead and check them ones out too. But other than that, I look forward to catching up with you all in the next one, and take care, everyone.